You're such an asshole.
I have a kind of an odd request. People ask me, "What do you think of this?" I'm like, "What makes you think I know anything about it?" I mean, I got an opinion on it. I read about it, but I've never been there. And this guy wants to know my opinion about Japan. Hey, Aaron, last time you bashed me on my grammar, so this time I'll make sure to type on my computer. Yes, you save money by typing on a computer and using paragraphs and correct punctuation and not voice to text. Yes. Anyway, what are your thoughts about Japan as a country? This could include everything from its culture to its politics. I have personally always loved the Japanese culture and language. I'm currently 20 years old, engineering students who's taking Japanese language classes on the side. I know a lot of people who are super weeaboos, a person who is obsessed with Japanese culture. Losing my voice, sorry. And they tend to only focus on the materialistic part of the culture, such as physical items, music, anime, etc. Yet they tend to ignore the negative side of Japan, such as the long work hours. It is custom to arrive at work before your boss arrives and to leave after your boss has left. I also know Japan is a very expensive place to live, and unless I find a foreign company in Japan, I know landing a job will also be another great challenge. So in short, what are your thoughts about Japan and whether or not it is a good place to live? You could charge me extra if you need to do research about it. I can. Okay, their economics, I know about their economics, but it's no different than any other place in the Western world, although they were the original ones to break 100% debt to GDP, but now that's all, I guess we're turning Japanese. I really think so, because everyone's doing that. Now they're, Lord knows what they're, I think it's 300. I'm confusing that with Korea. Japan did go through a corrupt Kuretsu stage that then they got rid of, but there's still a relatively corrupt country, actually, if you look at the corruption perceptions index. Asia in general, remove China because they're communist, at least in control. Japan, there's grift and bribery more than you'd think. So from an economic standpoint, I'm kind of meh about it. But then about the other things, I mean, you really want an expert, go talk to Modern Life John. He'll tell you everything. The thing I don't like the most, the thing I like the least about Japan, they don't have Perkins, so that's not. But they do have Poke Bowl, probably some of the best Poke Bowl in the world, I'd imagine. But generally, most of my experience through Japan has been probably anime tied with reading about the herbivore men, and then more than a fair amount of articles about the Japanese people and culture that I read about in The Economist and The Economist intelligence units many years ago. What I like about Japan the most is its culture. Not that I've experienced it, but they like it. Here in the United States, we hate ourselves, or at least you're indoctrinated to hate yourself. I don't hate myself, and I do not hate American culture, classical American culture. I do not hate America as it was founded and its pinnacle, which I would say would be the 1940s, 1950s. It was the envy of the world. It is the best humanity ever achieved and for the foreseeable future will ever achieve, and we're in decline. But it started with the culture liking itself. It started with the culture pursuing excellence. And for whatever corruption drawbacks there may be about the Japanese economy and government, the Japanese people are for Japan. It's kind of like, you know who Vladimir Putin's for? Russia and Russians. He may be corrupt. You may say, well, a lot of people are dying of polonium around him. Yeah. But you know what? I think he probably has the best interests of Russia and Russians in his heart. And what I like about the Japanese people, they like themselves. Whereas I'm waiting for all these Americans who hate America and to either move or kill yourselves because you're American. One of the two. Renounce, leave, or off yourself. Which one's it going to be? Which you're never going to do. What they're complaining about is they don't like hard work ethic and that traditional sense of Americanism. But Japan, yeah, there's culture, there's ritual, the clothing. And that's another thing, being an Eastern nation, it's Eastern culture. And it's completely foreign, both literally and metaphoric to me, where it's like, oh, that's the garb, the traditional Japanese garb. Their opera, which I sat through one, I hated it. where they paint their faces white and it, whoa! I'm like, whoa, it's very loud. And of course, my buddy Khan forced me to go. He's not even Japanese. Like, let's go see Kabuki Theater. Okay, absolutely hated it, but that's different. That's unique. I like to see how that turns out. And then also the anime. I know when I was a young kid, that was a huge influence because, like, dude, Voltron, Transor Z. Let's see how old people are. Galaxy Express 999, Battle of the Planets. And yeah, you guys all think, oh yeah, it's what is it, Cowboy Bebop? No, there was anime long before, and it was just a superior to Akira when that came out. Robotech was foundational to my principles, even though it was a combination of 3 different animes and one they put in America. But I was like, oh, wait, we don't have to draw cartoonist crap. We can actually draw things and we can have adult themes. Watch Crusher Joe. That's a great, it's Japanese, obviously, but it's a straight up old school classic American action flick or American-esque, even though it wasn't made in America. But like, it's a cartoon where people get killed. And I'm sure many are like, oh, you want to see really gruesome? Watch Afro Samurai series. That's dark. A little dark for me. And of course, Cowboy Bebop is the best, and I don't think anything's going to come close to that because ain't nobody putting it. And then for every one of those, there's 1,000 absolutely horrifically bad anime. Horrifically bad. They really only let the good stuff go. Well, that's even debatable. And then I kind of like seeing a modern economy, how it's evolving under Eastern philosophy, where, yeah, guys do work themselves to death. The story of Japan as an economy is amazing. How they went from getting bombed out after World War II to, like, in under 30 years, you know, starting to rival everybody. Maybe not in terms of size because their population was not as big. But for the longest time, they had the second largest economy in the world. And look at all the quality products they make. Electronics and cars, most notably. You know, I'm a big motorcycle guy. Heck, if I'm buying an American bike, I want to ride a motorcycle. I don't want to look at it at the side of the road. Harley riders. Of course, you guys never get above 1,000 miles on those bikes now, do you? It's a problem. Okay, it's unfair to Harley. All right, it's very unfair to Harley. The reason why Harley makes perfectly good bikes is just the incredibly fat people that ride them. That's what makes them break down. So they're perfectly good bikes. It's just you got a bunch of fat old people driving them, constantly crashing them. No wonder they break down. Do something about it. You're too fat to chase me. All right. You could chase me on your bike. Oh, wait, you can't because it broke down and I'm on the Honda going faster or just going. Yeah, but what I really like, maybe someone more my age or a little bit younger, but the Japanese people a generation ago busted their ass off. And they made a country a first world nation in record time. And yeah, there's a lot of debt. Yeah, there's some social problems. And I don't understand the herbivore, why men and women are not getting together. Really don't understand. John loves it. But I'm kind of curious why the Japanese people aren't hooking up. Because they have their culture. But it proves that it doesn't even necessarily mean, okay, you got a stable culture, so then you be comfortable breeding. I'm not comfortable having kids for many reasons, but one of the main ones is I'm going to have a kid in this culture where the culture hates itself. And you're trying to purge everything that's American in America. Like, people hate the flag here. The Democrat Party, one of our main political parties, hates the U.S. flag. So, yeah, with Japan, it's not a lot, but I like the fact that they like their culture and they're going to stick with it. That's about it, you know. And when I go there, I hope they're still Japanese. And people say, yeah, but they're really discriminatory against non-Japanese. I'm like, good. Because just so you know, when I'm going overseas, I'm not even necessarily looking at taxes. I'm looking at other things. The main thing is cultural stability. Because if you don't have a stable culture, then it don't matter. Electricity's going out. I got more faith, no matter how bad it's finding. I got more faith in the Japanese people keeping the lights on than I do the Americans. You go to Japan, there's practically no crime. People are cordial and civil. Unlike today, I know that if I go into a restaurant in Japan, they're probably going to be very quiet while people are eating, not having this millennial dip bleep with talking on his headphones because he doesn't know any better. They just seem like they like their culture. I want them to remain Japanese. There's true diversity. I want Japan. I don't want to be blended away with immigration of non-Japanese cultures. And if I were to ever settle down in Japan, I would be a humble guest and I would understand, John, he's not allowed into certain restaurants or places because it's for Japanese only. And he seems a little perturbed at it a little. Like, I can't believe that. I'm like, it's their land, man. It's not you. It's just, they don't hate you. They should just, they have their right. Let them be Japanese. You're not allowed there. Too bad. Go enjoy the other parts of the culture. But be civil. Be polite. Be humble. Don't be, hey, I'm John, swinging my big American dick. But, or in John's case, wee. Wee. What are you drawing something? No, I'm swinging my dick. See, look at me, I'm swinging my dick. Oh, he's gonna, because I know he's gonna watch this one. He's gonna watch this one, and if he'd be kind enough to say why he likes it, he'd be the guy. Hire him if he's got time. He could tell you. You might have to pay him a fair amount because he makes a lot of money. God bless him. God bless him. I was like, what? Really? You? You got that shit eating grin. Like, yeah, me. This guy. Yeah. And I am going to visit Japan. I don't think I want to stay there. I think it'd be too much of a culture shock for me. Same thing with Korea. I think it's too clean. It would be like Switzerland for me too. I'm going to offend something or somebody or get in trouble accidentally. But nah, Southeast Asia, I think maybe there somewhere, Central Europe, but yeah, Japan. I am going through, once I get the time, an Asian film binge because I am not watching any more American or Western films because I'm sick of the politics. And there's an entire culture with subtitles where there are some good movies. Many of you have already recommended several. I've saved them all, so I appreciate your recommendations. And it looks like there's a lot of agreement on like 20 different, like these top 20 kept popping up. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I'm going to check that out. So there's that. All right. Any super chats? Hey, The Goddamn Bacon, who you can find on YouTube at thegoddamnbacon.com for $2.43. What up, Cappy? How's freedom-loving South Dakota treating? Really poorly. Really poorly. And it has nothing to do with the freedom or the government. It's just the people. It's just the people. It has convinced me that I will probably not be in the United States. I am so sick and tired of stupid slope. It's not who dang digglies. It's just ain't nobody working in this country. It's a nationwide thing. And South Dakota is not immune from it. And South Dakota has even fatter, uglier people than Minnesota and Wisconsin, if you can believe it. And again, it's not that I'm going to find myself a piece of tail. I'm just sick and tired of walking into the Walmart and looking around and saying, like, I don't want to be part of this society. I just hate this society. Not South Dakota, Americans. Modern day Americans. All right. That's it. Questions, answers. AsselConsulting.com. See ya.